Blues director. Captains for the visiting Red Dot. Interior.
All right, guys, shake hands and introduce yourself.
So, name the captains.
All right. Great night for football. Ready? You guys all going over it, right? You all on. You got it. Okay. The head. The tails. All right. Central get the call to the visitors. What are you going to call?
Heads.
Flip up in the air. Tails. You wonderful.
We'd like to.
You want to receive. You're going to receive. So, backs up there. Hillsborough has won the toss and will receive. On the Central will be kicking.
Well, Hillsborough wins the toss and receives to start the game. Oh, we can. Okay, sorry. All right, well, go figure. Not necessarily the way I wanted to welcome you guys, but it's Tom Wilkins with Joey Pagan here as Hunterdon Central takes on the Hillsborough Raiders. We're going to get everything done in a moment, but first we're going to go ahead to the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band, who will perform our national anthem under the direction of Jules Heron and Nick Clipperton. Let's give it a listen. All right. Now we can get back into action. Hello, everybody. Live from Hillsborough High School, Dan Noonan Field here in Hillsborough, New Jersey. I'm Tom Wilkins. Joey Pagan will be with me in a moment. Howard Gaber taking care of the controls. You just heard the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band with our national anthem. Of course, the directors are Jules Heron and Nick Clipperton. Wonderful job by everybody all year long with their halftime performances and, of course, all the band stuff here. You're here tonight for the final regular season matchup in 2024, the Hunterdon Central Red Devils and the Hillsborough Raiders. Hunterdon Central comes in with a 4-4 record. They've lost their last two. They basically won two and lost two and alternated throughout. Hillsborough, meanwhile, has been playing a lot better as of late. They've won their last three, including a 27-14 win at Piscataway, winning back-to-back games on the road after winning against Westfield here 3 weeks ago. They won by 10 over Bridgewater Raritan and by 13 over Piscataway. What a performance by some Hillsborough players last week. Now let's see if it can transfer to what will happen on senior night and also breast cancer awareness night here at Hillsborough High School. Hillsborough won the toss. They will receive. They'll go right to left. Hunterdon Central left to right, and we'll switch sides in the second quarter. Referee's blown his whistle, and here we go. And it's a directional kick that I don't know if it even went 10 yards, but who's going to get it? We will see what the official says. It's Hunterdon Central ball. Oh. It might have been touched by Hillsborough just shy of the 10-yard mark, and they steal the first possession. However, the officials are going to talk about it first.
Wow, what a kick. I mean, looked like he was trying to get his foot underneath the ball. I don't think it was supposed to be directional, but nevertheless, it was just a short squibbler. And I'm not sure if Hillsborough touched it. It looked like the other teams touched it prior to it going to 10 yards. So
Well, we'll see. That's what the officials are discussing. By the way, our head official, our referee today, Mark Moran, umpires Tim McDonald, head linesman Steve Glassman, line judge Danny Miller, field judge Pierre Ladrapier, and side judge is Jim Simmons. And it turns out it's probably going to be Hillsborough ball. By the way, the near sideline is received. So we're still gonna have a discussion on this, but you have to remember it has to go 10 before the kicking team can touch it, and 9.5 will not do. So, so an interesting discussion here. It's going to be a moment till we find out what the deal is, but it might be Hillsborough ball in very good field position if it looks like what the reaction is. Let's take a look at a replay, Joey.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
and see for yourself. Did it go 10 or did it not?
Okay. Oh, no, it did not. It did not. It looks like one of the other teams touched the ball private.
It's a foot short, I think. So for Hunterdon Central, it looks like that's. All right, we're gonna find out right now. Let's listen.
No flag on it. No flag.
Oh wow, they say no flag for illegal touching, and Kevin Carney has gone.
But we have black. We have your guy touching the ball first, and then they got the.
I don't think I've ever seen him so
Yeah,
animated.
black ball. Touching the ball first.
Based upon replay, it looked like Hunterdon Central touched it before it went 10 yards. And Carney, I tell you what, I remember Don Nelson going nuts after basketball calls, but this goes on top of it. So Hunterdon Central, believe it or not, gets a huge break to start the game, and it's 1st and 10 from midfield. Wow.
What a big call there to start this game off.
Let's see how this all plays out. 1st and 10. It's a handoff right side, breaking through a hole and down for a gain of 7 or maybe 8 to the 43-yard line. That is Gio Veliz, who was brought down by a Meyer on that play, but quite the start and a gain of 7 as they're going to go up tempo here.
Yeah.
And this is a team that always does play a tempo offense. They got 3 receivers slot right. And in a way, you could say it's similar to the Navy offense. They're led by quarterback Andrew Sella, who's in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Now he fakes, throws in the middle, pass is caught, and that'll be a 1st down at about the 35-yard line. Nice catch. And it's James Monjo for a gain of 8. So all of a sudden, Hunterdon Central keeping Hillsborough on their toes and opening 2 plays.
Moving the ball with this quick offense, with this hurry-up offense, is not a bad idea for them right now, especially getting a break on that kickoff. You want to take full advantage of what you got.
All right, well, right now they're going to line up Gio Veliz to the right of quarterback Sella. They go spread here on 1st and 10, and Sella calls his own number. Crossing the 30. He's crossing the 20. He may go all the way, and he will. He gets thrown down in the end zone, but not before he scores a 35-yard touchdown run. And I feel for Kevin Carney. He has I would say, that tough break against Hillsborough cost him points.
It did. I mean, really, we saw the replay up here, and we know that Central touched the ball. Central touched the ball first, so.
Well, for Hunterdon Central, these are the breaks, as they say, and they caught a huge one, and they get the score on 35-yard touchdown run by the quarterback Sella. Here comes the extra point. The snap, kick on its way, down to shoot. Just a minute 5 into the game, it's the Red Devils 7, and Hillsborough getting their first possession in just a moment. But what exactly happened on this replay here?
He calls his own number. He goes off tackle on the right side. I'm not sure where. The defensive end is out on a wide 5, it looks like, or 9. He ran right underneath that. I don't know what happened to the back or if he stepped up. Let me take a look. Oh, they both went inside, and they got blocked. Yep, and held. On the end there, yeah.
Wow, potential holding calls that were also missed. I'm sure Viking fans have seen that a million times in the last 24 hours. But Well, that was a face mask, but yeah, we get everyone's pain here. But if you look at last week, Sella was 10 out of 19 for 70 yards, but he threw for 3 interceptions, but he ran 17 times for 50 yards. His longest was 11. He had no problem topping that on the third play of the game.
That's right. I mean, and you see that he calls his own number quite often. So, Hillsboro's got their hands full. Their defense. They have to make sure that they're in the right gaps with what they do in here, because it looks like they both were in the same gap. And to top it off, the end was being held on that. So,
well, as they say, we'll see how things progress here. It's only a minute 5 in, and sometimes emotion, you can't play for 48 minutes emotional football. Now a traditional kickoff,
Nope.
and it's a squibber this
There you go.
time. It is taken directional and caught at the 47-yard line. That was 27 Cooper Carsey, the junior, who came down with it. And Hillsborough will have a short field, 1st and 10. And I'll tell you what, here on senior night, I would not be surprised if they call for Jankowitz, they call for Wanda seniors. I mean, and there might have been an offside call against Hunterdon Central, too, which will be 5 yards added on. So Hillsborough will be in plus territory at the 48-yard line, it looks like, of Hunterdon Central.
yep. I guess that we didn't catch that flag. So that's good field position for Hillsborough at the moment. Let's see what they do. Let's see if they can answer back really quickly here.
Well, they're just going to get the football in for play. And Hillsborough, of course, they're in their home black uniforms with gold numerals. And Hunterdon Central in the road whites with red helmets and red numbers. And now they're going to set the ball at the Hunterdon Central 47. All right, so let's get this started as Ryan Seaman at quarterback here, 1st and 10. He's going to go spread with the other senior, Jackson Jankowitz, line to his left. And Jackson had a heck of a game last week. Let's see what he can do for a home finale. Seaman will fire right.
Oh.
And the pass ends up being caught at the 40-yard line. An extended catch by Berto
Referee
Santiago.
says no catch.
And now they're saying incomplete. He thought he had it.
I thought he had it too. It looked like he came down with that. I mean, it was good defense, but it really looked like he came down with that ball there.
It's possible that maybe he secured it with the ground, and that's probably
it's a
why
possibility, and
it was ruled incomplete.
All right.
So it is 2nd and 10. So Hillsborough, they've caught a few bad breaks already, less than a minute and a half into the game. But, hey, that's why we have another 46 and a half minutes to right the ship.
Yes, sir. This is what it's about.
Wouldn't be surprised if Jankowitz gets a call here. He's lined up. And now in motion, empty gun here, heavy to the right. Seaman back. Late blitz coming. Gonna go deep. He's got Jankowitz. He catches it. Clear the area. He responds. Welcome to the end zone. We got college basketball score in our hands already. Only a minute 25 in, and Hillsborough has already said, you know what? You're going to score on us. We'll get it right back.
Way to come back, Hillsborough. That's exactly what you needed to do, to get a touchdown really quick and answer that. And now you settle down, I hope, and Hillsborough can settle down. Coach can settle down and get back to his game plan and stuff like that. So
now here we go with the snap. Oh, it's a low line drive, and Hunterdon Central's going to keep the lead at 7-6. This is reminding me of one of the games in Atlantic City we did on Sunday.
Right, here
Tell me what happened here.
Well, Jankovic come out the backfield. He goes in motion. One of the defenders come up and, they jammed him at the line but released him. Safety stood down low looking in the backfield and just didn't cover him. The safety got caught looking in the backfield, and that was it.
That touchdown by Jankowitz puts him 4th all-time in Hillsborough High School history with his 31st overall touchdown, his 4th receiving in his career. That's been it. I mean, that's really, really incredible for the career that he's had. Remember, he has returned 4 kickoffs / punts, had 4 special teams touchdowns, we'll just say. But even though the extra point was no good, Hillsborough still down by a point, but maybe now we can calm down and have some real football going on.
Well, yeah, like you said, I mean, now Coach can calm down a little bit. You can see he's still a little upset on the sideline, but he's got to calm down. He's got to be able to get his head back in the game and start with the game plan again and get back to football and make sure that he gets the right defense now come out so that this way, they can possibly hold, because special teams is big and they missed the extra point there. So,
Well, as they say, sometimes it happens, but hopefully they don't want to leave any points on the scoreboard here. As here is a more traditional kickoff. That'll be taken at about the 15-yard line, rushing to about the 25, and then to a sea of black down to about the 30. So Hunterdon Central will get the ball 1st and 10. That was Tyler Farley, the senior, on the return, and Hunterdon Central will begin at their own 30-yard line.
Well, it was good defense, good coverage by the special teams. You know, not allowing them to get too good of a field position, but at least now Hillsborough has to come up with something defensively to stop this quarterback right now.
By the way, I'm sorry, while it's on my head here, I want to send crazy shouts to my friend Kathy, who I graduated with from high school. She's out in Flemington. She has a couple daughters who are at the game tonight for Hunterdon Central. So hope you guys are enjoying here on HSG Network on YouTube. All right, so 1st and 10 from the 30, and they're going to screen a lateral along the far side, little bubble screen, but that was a backward pass.
Right.
Taken at about the 33-yard line.
Good defense by Hillsborough this time. Now they all rallied up to the ball. They didn't allow them to get to the outside and stuff like that. So, you know, hopefully the defense that we know at Hillsborough, they can settle down. The linebackers do what they need to do and you know, get a 3 and out here so that Hillsborough can get back on the field.
Anthony Guerrero with the stop. It was only a 2-yard pickup, so 2nd and 8. They're going to go spread again. Sell lined up in the shotgun. They'll hand off up the middle. Nice tackle that time at the 34-yard line.
7.
And the senior, Xander Borowski, able to make the stop on Gio Velez, and it forces a 3rd and 5.
That's a good thing. You know, it's big when your defensive tackles can make plays and your linebackers don't have to get too involved. You know, you wanted that to be able to keep your linebackers free, but it was a good play on his part.
All right, now they're going to triple the right side. It's a 4-receiver set. 3rd and 5 from the 35-yard line for the Hillsborough defense. This is going to be a pretty big play to steer momentum here. Got to keep in mind, Hillsborough's had the edge in this series. Here's a pass, and that's going to be caught for a 1st down to 41-yard line.
Yep.
And once again, that is James Mungo with the grab. Advani with the stop, but it's a 1st down for Hunterdon Central at 41.
He was able to slide in right behind the linebackers, right above that 2nd level there, and quarterback was able to see him and get the ball to him. Really good pass, good catch. Hillsborough needs to drop their backers. I mean, I understand the threat. You got to respect that, but you need to keep 4 guys in the line of scrimmage, and, you know, your linebackers need to get a good drop.
I'll tell you.
Reverse.
Well, here's a double reverse and a flag down at about the 36-yard line. So a little bit of trickery, but it may not have mattered with a flag going right through the line. Let's see what this is all about.
Decline. What number?
Sounds like it's on Hunterdon Central.
We have 1. We have holding. White, 61. Penalties are going to be declined. It's going to be 2nd down.
So they're going to take the loss of 5 and make it 2nd and 15 instead of 1st and potentially 20, depending on where the hold was. So a loss of 5 as the double reverse backfires.
Right. I think that was a good call, declining the penalty and put him at double sticks on 2nd down. See what the defense can do here.
Well, Sellis calling his own number, and he'll take a hard hit at the 39-yard line. And as we mentioned, Sella ran the ball quite a bit in last week's game against Old Bridge. Unfortunately, Hunterdon lost by a count of 35-8. He had 17 rushes for 50 yards, and here he gets 3 and a 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 12 coming up at the 39-yard line.
Took a big shot there at the end of that run too. So I don't know how often he's going to want to run the ball. He keeps taking shots like that. So, you know, the safety came up and made a big hit.
Well, Hillsborough's got to get used to playing their passing defense again. Back to passes Sella. Pocket collapses. And the pass is knocked down incomplete. Right at the 1st down marker. Punched out by Jaden Carter. And it was intended for James Mongo, but a nice play from the 5 counterpart, Jaden Carter, the junior, and it forces a punt for Hunterdon Central.
This is exactly what Hillsborough needed, a 3 and out here and get back on the field, get onto offense, and once again, get on track. Maybe one play again for a touchdown. Who knows?
Looks like Santiago might be standing at a 30-yard line for the punt. Punter standing at the 25. A good snap he'll take. They're coming, but he gets it off Santiago. not going to return it. It's going to drop out of bounds somewhere around the 33-yard line, and that is where Hillsborough will start. And I meant to say beforehand, we only have records for the last 5 times these two teams met, but Hillsborough's won those last 5. They won last year 19-13 in Hunterdon Central. I think that was an extra time game, if I recall. Last time they played on this field, it was a 29-15 win for Hillsborough. And then 44-21 in 2021, 1921. I don't know about that. I'm sorry. In 2020, Hillsborough won 42-14, and they won 24-13 in 2019. So eventually I'll get this right. All right, so 1st and 10. Here is Seaman firing at caught and slipping down the tackle, cross the midfield, and down to the
Santiago.
43 is Berto Santiago.
Great catch. Great run by Santiago there.
24 yards, and they move the chains.
Yeah, that Santiago is one of his favorite targets too. Besides Jankowicz, he's a good receiver, excellent runner after the catch. So,
well, here's something else for you. Ryan Seaman has as many completions in the first 4 minutes of this game as he did all last week when he only made 4 attempts. He was 2 out of 4 for 46 yards, and he's obviously eclipsed that with a 47-yard touchdown. That was 23 right there. So 1st and 10 from the Hunterdon Central 43, and they're going to hand it to one of the big backs crossing the 40 down to the 39-yard line. Looks like that is Brendan Barker. Called him 3 weeks ago. He had a touchdown as a senior blast through for a gain of 4.
Good run there. The offensive line did a great job in blocking up front there and being able to move for 5 yards. So that was a good run. Good call there by Coach.
Trying to soften Hunterdon Central's defense up and let Jackson Jankowicz do the work. Keep this in mind. Last week, Jankowicz had 34 carries for 217 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now Barker's going to have to carry, bust through the 35, and is tripped up at the 31. He gets to move the chains right there for another 8 yards and a Hillsborough first down.
Good job. Once again, great blocking by the offensive line up front. They did a great job. I mean, he was able to get through the line of scrimmage and break one tackle to get an extra couple of yards and move the sticks.
And Hillsborough's been playing a lot better these last 3 weeks. I mean, remember, they were 2-3, and so many questions were being asked of them. Now, all of a sudden, they've won 3 in a row, and if they win tonight, potentially, they got a playoff game at home next week. Here is a keeper this time by Seaman. It looked like a broken play. And unfortunately gets gobbled up right at the line of scrimmage.
It did look like a broken play. The defense line was through. I'm not sure, what was the call there, but I think Coach needs to go back and reassess that.
Well, maybe might have been a 1-yard loss there. Actually going to say it's right back to the line of scrimmage, so Seaman got pretty lucky there. Came into this game, by the way, 2nd all-time in pass completion percentage at just under 56%. Apparently 95 completions out of 170 attempts and 6 touchdowns. All right, they triple the left side on 2nd and 10, and Barker's going to sweep, and he's going to cross the 30, and now a flag comes in late down to 27-yard line. Let's see what this is all about.
Once again, I mean, he ran to the boundary. He went to the short side of the field, tried to stretch it just a hair, but managed to cut back upfield and turn it upfield. Let's see what the penalty is.
A lot of discussions from the officials here. They've been pretty busy in the first half of this first quarter here, as exciting as it's been.
5-yard face mask.
Okay. Oh, they're going to attach a face mask against Hunterdon Central. Now, we'll see if it is close enough for a first down. Actually, it's going to be a little short. So the ball will be spotted at about the 23, it looks like, maybe the 22.
Right.
Yeah, they'll give him the 22. So it is 2nd and a yard. So a 4-yard gain and a 5-yard face mask. Remember, it's no just major face mask. There are 5 and 15s depending on the severity of the foul.
Right.
You see Andrew Schwartz has come into the game as Seaman got to play. They put a triple on the right here on 2nd and a yard. And now they give it to Barker up the middle. He'll have a first down into the red zone down to about the 18, maybe the 17. So Hillsborough's working their muscle here on this drive.
Yeah, great run again by Barker there. He's doing his job. The offensive line, once again, credit to them. They're giving him room for him to cut back upfield and get a few yards here, a few yards there, and he got another first down. So
right now the ball is spotted at the 18-yard line. They're going to switch the triple to the left on this 4-receiver set. Barker's, this is pretty much his drive here. He's lined up to the right of Seaman on 1st and 10 from the Red Devil 18. Back to pass. Seaman going to take a shot. It is caught!
Touchdown,
Welcome to the end zone! And it's Berto Santiago who clears the area. An 18-yard touchdown strike, and Hillsborough takes its first lead.
great job by Santiago. I think he just ran a straight fly up the sideline. Great pass, great catch. Let's see what we got here going. Oh, they're gonna go for 1 point, a 1 point conversion again.
And
hopefully we'll get the replay after this.
And I think it's smart. No reason to chase points at this point in time. If I just had a bad kick the first time, let's see if he does well the second time. That is much better. 13-7, Hillsborough leads Hunterdon Central in what has been an incredibly exciting first quarter. And how about that beautiful pass by Seaman to Berto?
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Let me see how the corner plays. He's playing him straight up. He's not playing him outside in. He should be playing him outside shade. He gave him a free release, is what you don't do as a corner. And Bertos was able to get behind him, and that was a good pass. Over the shoulder, good. The defender's claiming that he pushed off. There was no push off there, so great job by Santiago.
Let's remind you what happened in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, 4:49 left here in the first, and it's 13-7 Hillsborough. I'll tell you what, they have really been coming out in all cylinders. I mean, like I said, an emotional start for Hunterdon Central, converted into points. And a lot of times we see teams who have an incredibly emotional start, they get points in their opening drive, and then we don't hear from them again.
We don't hear from them again. That is true. I'm just glad that Hillsborough was able to settle down and come back and get these 2 touchdowns now. And, for the seniors that are here tonight playing, this is a great feeling. And, for them to be able to get on the board so quickly and do so well. So.
Well, Jankowitz has one. Berto Santiago has one. I mean, and Siemens thrown 2 touchdown passes. So he's in the books for his special senior night as here comes the kickoff. And it's a high pop-up. It is not Dodger Stadium.
Oh.
It's knocked down.
Let's
and Hillsborough hoping they have it, but we're going to see what the officials say.
Nope.
Nah, it's going to be a Hunterdon Central ball.
Came very close.
At the 40-yard line. Now, I don't know if I would have gone with such a kick this early to try and say, okay, let's even the score, but Hillsborough's ahead. You just got to be careful having a short field for the opponent.
Right. You would assume that they wouldn't have tried that, especially not chasing points at this point of the game. It is still very early. Still got 4 minutes in this first quarter. But that kick, I don't understand that. But I mean, it might have been just a pop-up, and he might have not gotten all the football. He might not have gotten all of it.
Well, Hunterdon Central began at around 40-yard line. Quarterback Andrew Sella, the junior, is going to hand this one off and running into a wall for maybe a yard.
Yeah, he ran into everybody.
To the 41-yard line. And Borowski again with a stop. Well, they're going to give him 2. A generous 2 there, so 2nd and 8. As we're down to 4.5 minutes left here in the first. A beautiful, beautiful night here in Hillsborough.
Borowski's doing a great job on the defensive line. He's actually on the right side. That ball went left. He was able to get over and still make the play.
Here's a pitch out right side.
Oh.
And, what a hard hit taken by Gio Belize as he goes down to about the 46-yard line.
It's a good play. I mean, they managed to seal the outside. And Jankowicz came up from his corner position to try to make a play, forced him back inside a little bit to the rest of the pursuit. So that was a good thing. But if if he breaks one tackle there, he's off to the races.
Well, it's 3rd and 4 from the 46-yard line. Let's see what Acela does in the shotgun. He's going to call his own number, and he's not. I don't know if he's going to make it.
Nope.
He's a yard short at the 49-yard line.
This is where we want a left foot spot down. Oh, he gave 4th down.
Well, like you say, it was about a yard short anyway, but we're going to see if Hunterdon Central decides to go for it here. And I do not see the offense leaving the field. Offense is calling their head coach, Casey Ranson, also defensive coordinator. And I think he says, stay on and get this yard. 4th and a yard from the 49-yard line. Sella trying to draw Hillsborough offside. Going hard count here. Looking back. Now he's looking to try and do the hard count again. Waiting on the play clock. He's calling his number.
Oh,
And,
oh.
he reached, and I think he got the first down. Boy, that was
Woo,
risky because
that's-
that ball could have came out real easy, but Sella was able to make it a 2-yard gain by being plastic man.
On that second effort, he hung out the ball out there. I thought somebody was going to knock it out of his hands, and that's what gave him the first down. He had the presence of mind. Smart guy to put out the ball, reach out so he can get the first down.
And that was very big because that keeps the drive going. He beats it by half a yard, but ball spotted right outside the Hillsborough 49. So Hunterdon Central able to move to 6. They're down 6 as we're down to 2:40 left here in the first. Now they're going to go 3 wide, slot left, play fake. Here's a pass. Oh, that was a little underthrown there and a little wide. It goes incomplete. They went in the direction of Mongno, but didn't quite make it.
No, it didn't make it. I don't know. He seemed like he was just throwing as he was going backwards. He didn't have good position to throw the ball, so he didn't have enough to get on it to be able to get it to the receiver there.
And we've been seeing a lot of slants, especially through the middle of the field, that Hillsborough has to be real careful of.
Right. I mean, that's key. I said the linebackers have to be able to get drops and read their keys on those plays.
All right, they triple the left side. 4 receivers set on 2nd and 10 for the 49. Sell in the shotgun. A high snap goes back. He'll fire left, and it's knocked away, incomplete. And it's again 5-on-5. Jaden Carter defeats Mongno again. So it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, he good defense on his part because he had a receiver standing in front of him. He had to fight through that receiver to get to the other intended receiver and be able to make a play on the ball. So that was good hustle on his part.
Is it possible there might have been a little miscommunication on Hunterdon Central's part?
It's a possibility, yeah. Yep. So now we got 3rd and 10.
Yep, from right outside to 49 after 2 straight incompletions. We will see what Andrew Sella calls.
I think he calls his own number here.
Well, 3rd and 10, I don't know, but they're going to go 3 wide slot right. And now they're going to try and go a little heavy on the left side. In the shotgun, Sella waits. Will take it, goes back. Has time. He's got a deep ball. He throws it too deep. It's incomplete.
All right.
He had a receiver open, but overthrew it well over the head of James Mongno, the intended receiver. And now Hunterdon Central have no choice but to punt.
That's right. Now they're going to come out and punt, and Hillsborough's going to get the ball with 2 minutes in this, at least 2 minutes in this quarter, the first quarter. If they can get another touchdown on the board here, that would be great.
Well, they've scored on both of their drives so far. Their punter, by the way, is their running back, Gio Valise. He's a junior. Let's see what his leg will do. Juan Santiago standing about the 19-yard line. And Hunterdon Central, they usually produce a lot of very good kickers. A very high snap. He's juggling it. He's going to have to run for his life.
And he kicks it off.
Berto Santiago will catch it and then make a U-turn.
Wow.
He went backwards because he is going to get clobbered down about the 21-yard line. But what a scary play on the part of Valise, who somehow was able to get it off almost like an Australian rules football kick, but very effective.
Very, very effective. He managed to get that ball off. I don't know how, but he was lucky. He was lucky that he was able to get it off, and it was a great punt. Great punt at that.
They're going to say the progress is stopped at the 24-yard line, so it ends up being a 3-yard loss on the return. Only a 22-yard punt, but I'll tell you what, when you're punting about 25 yards behind the line of scrimmage, that's impressive.
Very.
All right, here's Seaman on first down. They're going to hand this off, and cutting around the right side and crossing the 30 to the 31-yard line is Chad Francis. He's a senior. We haven't really called him much this year, and he's going to get a turn.
Yeah.
So he be able to get a nice gain of 6 on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 4 coming up. And now we're going to see how they kind of line up here. They do have Jankowitz in there. So
let's see what they come up with.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens. I'm sure they're going to change the lineups a little bit, giving everybody a shot. Here on 2nd down, here is a pass. This time it's Schwartz, and he gets buried at the 32-yard line.
Doesn't look like he had much out of that. Maybe a few yards.
Maybe a yard if that.
Right. I mean, it was a good call. I mean, we've seen him take it to the house on that swing pass right there before. So it's not a bad call. But now you got 3rd and 1. So, now you have to get in the playbook and see what short yardage plays you can call here. I mean, if it.
Well, maybe they could bring Barker back in. We'll have to see. Kind of changing the lineup a little bit here as it's 3rd and 1. Ball spotted at the 33-yard line.
They stayed with Schwartz in the
Yeah, they're going to
backfield.
put the triple on the left and condense it a little. And now they're going to hand it off and trying to push forward to the line again. We'll see where they spot the football. Looks like the judges are saying the 35, and that's enough to move the chains.
Your back's in the backfield. Make sure you got them set. for
So
1 second
Schwartz ended up with the carry and got 2.
Wait till he's set 1 second before he goes.
So I'll be. Oh, they weren't set. Okay, never mind.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I think what happened was there was a little bit of problem with the set. So, but the play did count, and it's a first down after a 2-yard gain. Now they're going to switch the triple to the right as Seaman will take the snap, has a little time. He's going to throw left, and it just passes by incomplete. They wanted the direction of Hamid Kamara, the junior, who was along the left sideline that time, just a little bit wide to get it.
Trying to get a little back shoulder action there. The defender kept going. If he would have stayed in bounds, it would have been great. He could have taken upfield for more yardage. It's a good call.
Well, field presence obviously is very important, and it takes time to just know where you are on the field and where the ball's going, and that's where the focus comes into play. We'll do the same formation again, 2nd and 10 from the 35. And Hunterdon Central might have jumped as it's rating flags.
All right.
It's going to be an encroachment foul.
52 white. It'll be 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
All right, so a 5-yard penalty for that, and it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line. So I'm wondering if that was a hard count or Hunterdon Central was just anticipating a little bit too much.
I'm not sure if it was a hard count, but he was trying to get, maybe he tried to guess the snap count and jumped off sides.
All right, the same formation here on 2nd and 5. Back to pass to Seaman. A big rush, and now he's going to call his own number, and he's going to get to about the 44, about a yard shy of a first down. So Seaman took it himself, ends up gaining 4, and that looks to be the final play of the quarter.
All right.
So 3rd and 1 when we come back as the clock runs to 0. So we're going to be at quarter time here at Hillsboro. It's the Raiders 13, the Red Devils 7. We'll break and come back with the second quarter right after this.
When you want reliable work, trust family-owned A&B Landscaping to make your property look its best. With over 25 years of experience, our design team will help create an oasis in your backyard with landscaping, hardscaping, retaining walls, and more. Our commercial customers rely on us for landscaping and maintenance too. So no matter what type of property, we can handle it. We're the company you can trust, so give us a call today.
Okay, we are back here in Hillsboro at David A. Noonan Field. I'm Tom Wilkins with Joey Pagan and Howard Gabriel, of course, taking care of the controls. About to start the second quarter, Hillsboro with a 13-7 lead on Hunterdon Central. Couple of other progress scores. Somerville 6-0 over Watchung Hills. Phillipsburg 7-0 over Bridgewater Raritan, and Howard will like this. Franklin 14-13 over North Brunswick. Now they also have the Yankees Dodgers listed, but we'll worry about it later. Here's a 3rd down handoff. That's going to go. Jacobs! There he goes! Clear the area for the senior! Welcome to the end zone! 56 yards for Jackowitz and a second touchdown of the game, and Hillsboro extends their lead.
Great play. Great down, great run, great blocking by the offensive line again on there.
That is his 24th rushing touchdown of his career and 32nd overall. Has a touchdown rushing and receiving. Remember, he had 3 rushing touchdowns out of his 217 yards as the extra point goes through the uprights, and Hillsboro now with a 20-7 lead. I couldn't even see where he was. It looked like they were moving a pile. I think Joey's going to have to describe where did he come from.
Yeah, I didn't. He just popped out of there and just shot out like a cannon. Let's take a look here. You know, they were really bunched up there. And yeah, there it is. He
was that
right
quick
up the
hit.
middle. All he did was hit the back of the pile and went left a little bit and took right off. They lost him. The defense lost him in that punch right there, and he was able to pop out and score the touchdown. Great running.
I mean, that is just a tremendous job on the part of Jackson Jankowicz. What a career he has had. I mean, you got to consider the way he has moved the football and the way he has gone with what he's done in his 3+ years here. And remember, he was a freshman in the state championship year 2021, and he broke out in 22, couple kickoff returns for a touchdown, and that he basically placed himself on the map and made everyone else in this area worry when having to face him.
Yeah, I mean, he's had an outstanding career here at Hillsboro. And he's finishing up the senior night as right now, just in this first half. Great.
Over 100 all-purpose yards. Now another pop-up, and that is fair caught at the 41-yard line by Troy Arteaga, the junior. So he was able to catch that, and Hunterdon Central will have it 1st and 10. Boy, I tell you what, you got to really pay attention to those players here.
I guess that's the game plan, these little pop-up kicks to see, hopefully somebody bobbles the ball and they can recover.
That's Steve.
And that's the key. The focus is you have to focus on the ball, and once you catch, prepare to get hit. And then you have to instantaneously realize who's around you and see what you have to do next. And basically it happens less than a split second later.
That is correct.
So what you have to do is call fair catch, and that establishes possession.
Little
Here is
shovel
a little bit of a, I guess, a hot potato. A flip pass to the 45-yard line. And I think it's Nick Vasquez who was able to come through with that. You could call it a slow shovel pass, but it's still a 2-yard pickup.
Yep.
So it forces 2nd and 8 now for Hunterdon Central, trying to get back on the board after such a hot start. But Hillsborough has scored on all 3 offensive drives.
The defensive lines for Hillsborough is doing a lot of better job now than they were doing a little earlier in the first quarter.
Well, here's a handoff and pouncing up the middle. That's Belize again.
And just as I say that, they give up a few yards here. Close to 1st down, 3rd and 1 it looks like.
Yeah, gain of 7 for Belize, and now they're going to really go tempo here. Yeah, quickly snap it. Belize again turns a corner, and he gets a 1st down. Stays on his feet, and there he goes! Pushed out of bounds. We'll see what they spot. I'll tell you, that was a very nice play by Anthony Guerrero, who was able to push Belize out of bounds on a very quick hit, 3rd and 1.
Lucky thing for him that he was able to get him and push him out, because if he would have managed to keep his balance, that was 6 points right there.
Looks like they're going to give him the 28-yard line, so a gain of 13. So second and third efforts there. So we'll say 1st and 10. Looks like closer to the 27. Let's see what quarterback does. He's got to throw up the middle. And how about that play action pass all the way down to about the 12-yard line and a 1st down.
That was a good call there.
And there were 2 players in the area, but that one was Matt Smith who had to catch.
Right. I mean, that was a quick play action right there to the receiver, who just did a small, like a skinny post there and was wide open.
All right. They're really moving down the field here. In the red zone at Hunterdon Central, 1st and 10 to Hillsborough 12. They play fake. There's a pass and caught inside the 5. That one was Devin Marrero, the senior, and he was able to grab it for a gain of 8.
Good pass, good catch, good fake. So they're down. The ball looks like it's close to the 3-yard line now. So
yeah, they're going to say about the 4. So they need to get to the 1. That'd be the line of gain, so they can get 1st down without scoring.
Hillsborough needs to come up with a big play defensively here. Yep.
They're going to go.
What we need right here. We need a big play. We need like a scoop and score here would be great.
Well, they're going to do a pitch out. This could be an option. A pass over the middle, and it's welcome to the end zone. How about that for trickery? Caught by Nick Vasquez for a 4-yard touchdown. Shall we say that was a halfback option?
It looked like a halfback option. Yeah, you're right. Good call by by the Central team there to be able to. I mean, the flow went for the run. Everybody was flowing that way and didn't cover any of the slot receivers.
Obviously, Hunterdon Central playing for a position in the state tournament. And I tell you, they see how important this game is. They're going to go with the extra point here. A bobbled snap, but they were able to get it off, and the kick is good. And that makes it 20-14. So I'll tell you what, you came for points. You got them in the first quarter plus in this game.
Yeah, it's a one-possession game now. Let's look at this play here again.
And we're going to find, I think it was number 5, James Mogno will get credit for the touchdown pass. Because watch, here's Mogno getting it, and wide open space. Now look who gets open. Bang, Vasquez right there halfway through the end zone.
Right, he'd nobody on him. He just came straight across, and nobody went with him at all. He was wide open there.
Well, the old phrase "fool me once" didn't work for Hillsborough.
That is true. I mean,
whether it be the opening kickoff or that particular play.
Yeah, now Hillsborough's got to be wary of everything now because Central's coming out with everything. They're not holding back. You know, they don't want to lose this game.
And they've
got it to a one-possession game, which is important for them right now.
And they got a few kitchen sinks along the sideline that they'll call if necessary.
Yeah, possibly. You could be right there. Let's see what they do here. Let's see if they get that directional kick again.
And considering we've had 5 kickoffs, we've only had 1 deep kickoff, so Hillsborough needs to be careful. Jankowitz needs to be careful because he's standing all the way back at about the 10. May not be surprised to see another directional here. Or we'll see who kicks it off. It could be anybody for all we know. All right, here we go. Who's going to kick it? The main guy, and it's a directional. Dribbling, picked up at the 28 by Schwartz, who sneaks away
wow.
to 40 to midfield. He might be able to get 5 for some more.
Good job.
At the 31-yard line. So the directional kick backfires at good wherewithal by Andrew Schwartz to pick it up and drive it back into Hunterdon Central 31.
At first, I thought he was making a mistake in picking the ball up there. It looked like it was going to go out of bounds, but he just picked it up and managed to get like 20, 30, 40 yards on that carry there.
And look at the blocking at the Hillsborough line, because it ends up being a 42-yard kickoff return because of it. The low directional. Schwartz has it. Now watch the blocking.
Oh, yeah. The defenders overran him, too. He outkicked the kicking team. Oh, boy.
Definitely a lot of over-pursuing here. And Seaman is back. Hillsborough scored on all 3 drives. Let's see if they go 4 for 4. Seaman back to pass.
Flag on the play.
And there's a flag that he's got. Oh! And just overshoots, incomplete. But we'll see what the penalty is. They went in the direction of Ryan Baker. Let's see what the penalty's all about. I mean, the flag came out right away. Preliminarily, looks like
illegal formation on the offense. Penalty is going to be declined. 2nd down.
All right, so Hunterdon Central is going to decline an illegal formation foul. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Hillsborough from the 31-yard line. Pretty interesting to see them decline and make it 2nd and 10 instead of 1st and 15.
Right. I mean, you know, I guess they just figuring that their defense is coming together now. So let's see.
All right, so 2nd and 10. Seaman back, throws right, batted down, incomplete.
Good job by the defensive lineman getting their hands up, recognizing that they didn't get enough pressure. So you figure the next best thing is you get your hands up, get in the passing lanes.
And now Hunterdon Central's going to call a timeout. So I think we're going to do the same thing. 9:33 left till halftime. Hillsborough ahead 20-14, and we'll come back in just a moment. Okay, back in Hillsborough, it's 3rd and 10 for the Raiders at the Hunterdon Central 31-yard line, despite a 42-yard kickoff return, 2 incompletions, and this is where Hillsborough is. In the shotgun, Seaman, again tripling the left side, taking the snap, going to throw up the middle, pass caught, and sliding through for a 1st down inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line. And it's Andrew Schwartz with a grab and a 13-yard pickup, and they move the chains into the red zone.
Great catch, great pass. I like to see that he's moving the ball around, getting different people involved in the offense here. This way, the defense can't focus on one guy. So that's awesome right now. Good play calling by the coach there.
And that's a double whammy for Hunterdon Central because they use a timeout for third down, and they end up giving up 13 yards. Okay, Seaman back on 1st and 10. He's going to give the Barker up the middle. He'll get to about the 15, to the
Good
10,
run.
and he goes down to about the 7. That should be another first down. In fact, 1st and goal.
Great run by Barker there. Once again, the offensive line on Hillsborough, they're doing a great job pass blocking and run blocking there this evening here. So they need to keep this up and just keep scoring.
All right, so a gain of 11, and it's 1st and goal as the ball is on the 7-yard line. Looks like Barker's in there. Looks like they're going to go 3 wide. No, they triple the left, rather. And now, Seaman keeps it to the 5. He's home. Welcome to the end zone. Clearing the area this time. Ryan Seaman, the quarterback, does it himself. A 7-yard touchdown run, and Hillsborough gets their 2-score lead back.
Great job calling his own number there. Good call by coach. Recognizing the wide side of the field, putting one receiver out there, bringing him all the way out past the numbers. So that leaves him and one other guy, one defender out there, and he was able to beat him to the outside and score there. Great
call that 7G connection.
7G, okay. 7G, I like that.
All right, here's the extra point snap. Kick on its way. And that makes it 27-14 as the points continue to pile it up. So Hillsborough now 4 for 4 on touchdown drives. I tell you, they've been putting up some serious points, and we're going to show you how Seaman was so wide open, Joey.
Once again, like I said, he brings the receiver out to the numbers to eliminate the number of defenders. Oh, I see what happened there. The safety took a bad angle, went straight down, and left the defensive end all alone. He was being blocked. No one was outside.
I'll tell you something. Hillsborough's been calling a heck of a game. I mean, the start of the game wasn't really pleasant, but you talk about riding the ship. That's a response for you.
That is a big response. Once again, coach settled down after that. He came back. He scored. They scored right away on one play, and then he figured, okay, I can relax a little bit, and I got some breathing room here, and settled down and started calling the offense the way he needs to.
And so Hillsborough will be kicking off with 8:39 left till halftime, and that is not there is not a error on the scoreboard here, folks. It's 27-14. Let's see what they do on the kickoff this time. They go kind of medium, taking about the 27 to 30, and maybe to about the 33. And this time Hillsborough's special teams like, no, you're not running this one back.
Good job by the special teams there, jumping all over. I'm not allowing them to get too many yards, if anything. Maybe a small return for a few yards, but nevertheless, good coverage there by the special teams.
It was Garrett Meyer who made the stop on the return. So for Hunterdon Central, I mean, they had a good last drive. Now let's see. They're going to have to really work fast to get points on the board here. And I'll tell you what, this rate, we might get out here by the time it's in the 8th inning at Dodger Stadium.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, you never know. I mean, we could see these two teams playing again in the States, depending on how other results fall. I mean, you never know. In any event, it's 1st and 10 from the 33, and they're going to lob a pass on a bubble screen and slipping out one tackle, going down for maybe a yard to the 34-yard line. Nick Vasquez, who had the touchdown pass on the halfback option, and that was a big play on defense.
Yeah, great defensive play by Jankovic, forcing him to come back inside. He broke his tackle, but was able to allow the rest of the defenders to get over and make a play on him, which was good. And only giving up 1 yard on that, 2nd and 9.
And you see Andrew Schwartz is in there as well. Here's a handoff on 2nd down, trying to get through the hole, and not much.
Great job by the linebackers there to come up and make a play on that.
Meyer with the stop on Veliz, only a yard. And Red Devil shaking up, and it's Veliz. It's Veliz. I mean, that's a key player here.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's slide out for a break with 7:46 left in the half. Hillsborough up 27-14. We're back in just a moment. Well, thankfully, the Lee's golf and is walking slowly off the field on his own power, so hopefully he'll
Yeah.
be okay. As right now for Hunterdon Central, this is a big play. Without the Lees in the lineup here, it's 3rd and 7, and the ball is at the 36-yard line. You wonder what Hillsborough is going to be calling here, Joey?
I I mean, I would think Central's going to call a pass here, but let's see
I
what they
said
come up.
Hillsborough.
Oh,
What
defensive
defense?
response?
Back the pass. Here's a throw, and it is
Nope,
incomplete.
incomplete.
It just hit the ground, intended for Magno, but he just scraped it off the ground. And it's an incomplete pass. That was a good effort, though.
Very good effort. Good try to try to trap that ball there, but he couldn't come up with it. He didn't fool the refs not one bit. Let's take a look at
We
the
had a play
replay.
like this a few years
I mean,
ago where
he's
he had to.
uncovered here in the slot, so ooh,
Yeah, it was one hopper.
it was a one hopper. Not bad, not bad. Good try, good effort.
Well, we had to redo Friday Night Lights on one of the scenes a little bit, but that they got right. All right, so punting for Hunterdon Central, standing at the 21-yard line.
Oh, another
A
high snap.
He bobbles it and is able to get around and get it away. And it's going to take 100 and bounce and be down at about the 38-yard line. Matt Smith downs the punt. Yeah, they're going to give him the 39, I think. So, yeah, well, it looked like the 38, but they had to check where the judges are, and they're lined up synonymous with one another on each side
Well,
of the
look
field.
at this, almost on the 40-yard line. Look at that.
I'm guessing the ball might have been touched at the 40. So Hillsborough right now up 13. Let's see if they can make it 5 for 5 on the ground here. Seaman will take the snap, and Jankowicz. No, it's not. He play fake,
He
snips
breaks
out of
out.
the tackle,
Wow.
not the second, and goes down for a 3-yard loss. And a good stop that time. You got to give the credit to Edwin Sanchez, the senior. And he's a big dude, 5'9", 330. You know, if he lands on you, that's trouble.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I mean, he got through. He managed to get through the defensive line there and get penetration. So, and
That's a very good play by that guy, we'll just say. So it ends up being a loss of 4. So it is 2nd and 14 now from the 36. And now Cardi just checking in with Seaman and Jankowicz and making sure they run the play. And they're going to spread here. Seaman in the shotgun will take it. Now he gives to Jankowicz. Let's see if he gets a hole across the 40, 45, 48-yard line.
Good
Gain
job
of 12 for Jankowicz.
Good job by Jankowicz. Got most of those yards back and then some. Close to a first down here. It's 3rd down, it looks like now. A much manageable 3rd down and maybe 2.
Yeah, 3rd and 2. Easily a running play, but then again, Hillsborough could fool us.
Correct.
As we're in the midway part of the 2nd quarter. Under center is Seaman. They give to Jankowicz, who dives, and he should have the first down.
Yes.
He needed to get to the midfield line again, and it looks like the 49, so they'll swing those chains over.
Good job by Jankowicz to get that first down. Just jumping into the pile there and pushing. And he's really tanking up the yards tonight, Jankowicz is.
Anyway, it's a 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. And they'll go spread again. Jankowicz will line up to the left of Seaman. Let's see what they do this time. Taking the snap, has a little time. He'll lob it right. He has got Santiago, but he's shielded, and it was a little bit underthrown too, incomplete.
Yeah.
So
he had Santiago wide open on the sideline. If he was able to step into that ball just a little bit more and get a little more underneath it, he would have had another 6 points there.
Yeah, but that ball was a little bit underthrown in all fairness.
Yep. In all fairness, it was. Like I said, if he gets his feet underneath him and gets to throw the ball a little better, it's 6 points there.
All right, the ball's at the 49 of Hunterdon Central with 5:25 left till halftime. Schwartz getting the instruction from Cardi, getting the right personnel out. So let's see what happens in 2nd and 10 for the 49. In between split backs this time, and they're going to give it to Schwartz. Schwartz with a hole,
Right
45, 41-yard line. Probably about 7 or 8 on the play. That makes it 3rd down. And by the way, while we have a second, Those of you checking us out here, HSG Network on YouTube, we would like to thank all of you for all the subscribers and everything else. We're over 3,100 people and growing. Make sure you subscribe to HSG Network on YouTube. We got plenty of other stuff, youth football, maybe even some high school playoff football in the next week or two. So make sure you subscribe, HSG Network on YouTube. And now on third down, here's a handoff. Oh, that's a hard hit. We're going to be close to a first down, but that was a very hard hit on Schwartz. Let's see where the spot is.
He looks like he was stopped short there, and they're going to get a measurement, I think, here.
Well, and look, the far judge looked like, they're going to move the chains. They're going to give him the first down, not by much, but he got it.
Okay.
He needed one, and he got 1 1/3. And the nose of the ball is at the 39-yard line. They're going to go 3 wide slot left, back in the split back. Schwartz again in motion. But the play stops, and it's going to be a false start.
I think Santiago left a little early there, I think.
Far judge ruled a false start. The official will make it official, literally.
Literally, officially.
False start on the offense.
So it'll be 1st and 15 after the false start, and the ball is spotted at the 44-yard line.
1st and 15 for the Raiders from the 44-yard line.
And now they're going to send everyone out. Looks like they're going to triple the left side, kind of go with that 3-receiver set. Now Seaman making sure everyone's in the right position. Jankowitz to his left. 1st and 15 for the 44. Back to pass, rolling, and volleyball down, incomplete. Second time Hunterdon Central's defensive line just batted down a Seaman pass.
Yeah, number 79, smart guy. He couldn't get to him, so he figured, let me get my hands up, just like I said, and get him in the passing lane.
That's what you got to do. That is Kyle Ater, who is a senior, and that was able to knock it down. So it's 2nd and 15.
He's a tall kid, too, so he's got some height with him there.
Trying to get the right personnel in as we're down to 4:01 left till halftime. Looks like they're going to go 3 wide slot left. Usually you have less receivers. That's a better chance of there being a run happening. But we'll see. As Seaman will make this call, he'll take the pass this time and take a shot. He's got Santiago, and he catches it at 10. And let's see what he does. He's down about the 2.
Good catch.
42 yards for Santiago, and it's 1st and goal.
I mean, that's something that Jake should take advantage of this whole night. They have him man-to-man most of the time with the safety down, looking to stop the run. So, I mean, and Hillsborough needs to take full advantage of that.
You are not kidding. So 1st and goal from the 2. They give it to Jankowitz.
And he pushes the pile forward.
And he, I think, clears the area. There's no signal.
I need to know.
There it is.
And he's got it. Welcome to the end zone for Jackson Jankowitz. His 3rd touchdown of the game in the first half. His 2nd rushing touchdown. And Hillsboro's throwing a 30-burger here in the first half.
Wow. Great rush. Great rush. Good job by the offensive line again with the push there. Hopefully we'll get to watch this. There we go.
Well, we'll try the extra point. Giving their guy a chance. Snap, kick on its way. You can make it 34-14. That extra point kicked by the sophomore Nick Schmidt. We're going to see him a lot more next year. So while we go ahead and break with Hillsborough up by 20 and 3:44 left till halftime, we'll come back in just a moment. Well, Hillsborough 5 for 5 in scoring drives here in this first half. That is why they're up 34-14. The only foul was a missed extra point on the first touchdown. The other 4 have been made. And at Hunterdon Central, I'll tell you one thing, they're going to need a score on this drive as Hillsborough comes away with a traditional kickoff of sorts. We taking it about the 10. That was a nice kick, by the way. Going to about the 20. Oh, they went the other way. He who hesitates is lost, and he loses a couple at the 18-yard line.
Great coverage by Hillsborough there, not allowing him to get any yards there and giving Central some field position, some not really good field position to start there.
So now with Hunterdon Central in big need here, there's 3:38 till halftime. Now they have 2 timeouts. Remember, Hillsborough won the toss and were supposed to receive until Hunterdon Central ended up recovering the opening kickoff in controversial fashion. So Hunterdon Central will get the ball to start the second half. So Hunterdon Central must have this drive. And remember, the key is the health of Giovanni's if he's back in. They hand it off, and nothing's going to be happening.
That
might be a
him.
loss or 2.
Yeah, that was him. He's back in the game.
Oh, that's good news. Vallee's back in the game. Unfortunately, had the ball and gets a 2-yard loss.
I mean, I credit that to the defensive line there. They were really strong there. They managed to get good penetration and not give him any room to move in the backfield there to get himself started.
Only about a yard loss, so 2nd and 11. And a handoff up the middle, going to get to about the 20, maybe the 22. Now, Hunterdon Central's playing fast, but they're not getting much in their plays.
They're not getting much in the play. These plays here, obviously, they're running plays just to try to keep, I guess, the defense, neutral. But I got to assume that they got to pass the ball at some point here and try to, get back some of these points before the half.
Well, here it is on 3rd and 7. Ball spotted at looks like the 22-yard line. Sella back the pass, going to throw, and the pass knocked away incomplete. It was intended for James Magno, who's had a big role of play in the first half, even had a touchdown reception, but he couldn't come through with it, and now it looks like Hunterdon Central's going to have to punt.
Wow, that's big right here. It's Hillsborough coming up with this stop right now. It's big. They can do one or two things. They can run out the half here or score again. Yeah, and we'll get to that 40 burger here at half, which would be great.
I just had dinner.
Yeah, you're right.
By the way, whistles are blowing, so
Timeout, Hillsborough.
Hillsborough's going to use a timeout. So while we break here, 2:25 till the half. Hillsborough up 34-14. We're back in just a moment.
Get ready for Countdown to Christmas, only on Hallmark Channel.
I'm going to bed.
Christmas makes me believe in love.
Okay, following a Hillsborough timeout, they will get the ball after forcing Hunterdon Central to go 3 and out. And Hunterdon will be punting yet again. Punter standing at the 7-yard line. We've had some very interesting snaps. This one is much more reliable and almost gets blocked. But it takes a Hunterdon bounce and rolls and rolls and rolls. And will get inside the 40 and finally drop at about the 37.
Wow, good punt this time. I mean, it came very close to getting blocked. But great punt, great roll. I mean, their punter has been doing a great job tonight.
Well, Hillsborough were 1st and 10 from the 37. I think, Joe, you were showing me something during the break.
I would like to give a shout-out to my granddaughter, Raya. Naraya here is 5 years old today. My beautiful granddaughter.
Wow.
Help everybody wishing her happy birthday today.
I'll go here in case you didn't see my face.
5 years old, my beautiful
many happy returns to your granddaughter.
Thank you.
So, well, that took a little bit of a plastic man for that one. All right, Seaman on 1st and 10. Here's a pass in the middle, caught about the 42-yard line. That was caught by the senior David Dewberry, who was able to bring it down for a 5-yard pickup. So it ends up being a 5-yard gain. Clock running to 1:50 to halftime. Hillsborough, each team has 2 timeouts, and Cardi choosing to run the clock. And be interesting to see what plays they call. I mean, we've had some interesting ones here on both sides of the ball. They spread here on 2nd and 5. From the 43, here's Seaman back to pass. Look, he's got a shot down left side. It is caught, but there's a flag down. There's a flag down. It is a catch. Jankowicz caught it, but let's see what the penalty is. It is at the Hunterdon Central 33. We're going to find out who the culprit is here. It's going to take a minute because the officials just made it to the midfield.
What'd you have? DPI?
They're calling potentially defensive pass interference.
We're not pass interference over here. It's going to be first down.
So it is 1st and 10 from the 27. And now they're going to hand off to Jankowicz. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Now the flag goes down as Barker goes to about the 20, but I have a feeling that one's going to come back. So it's going to be a hold against Hillsborough.
Dan, you want to take him back?
So after a defensive pass interference was refused, now Hillsborough's hit for the hold.
54, Hillsborough. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down. 5-4.
So it's against Hillsborough, and it'll be 1st, and we're going to say 20. They're going to back it up to the 37-yard line.
Do we dare say that they can get 6 in this first half?
They could.
I mean, it's a possibility.
But there's only 1:19 till halftime, but Hillsborough still has 2 timeouts. Anything's possible the way that offense has been going here in this first half.
I'm looking at matchups here. I'm looking at Santiago down at the bottom of the screen with one-on-one. I'm thinking, that's where you got to go.
All right, here is Seaman firing, trying to go into double coverage, threw it a little high, incomplete. That was intended for Santiago. And is there another flag?
Yeah, what number? What number, Danny?
Looks like it could be another penalty on Hillsborough the way they're discussing.
Yeah, illegal man downfield. 54, Hillsborough. It's going to replay first down.
And unfortunately, it's on the same guy who committed the hold a moment ago. So
second penalty.
So they're going to push it back 5 more. Now back at the 42. It is 1st and 25. I find it interesting now. Hunterdon Central's accepting these penalties. They were declining them earlier, and unfortunately, it ends up resulting in scoring.
All right, well, let's see what happens here. Once again, I mean, you got safety help over the top, but his route that he ran it to the sideline. So, yeah, he ran a cover 2, but let's see what he gets here now.
And Seaman's going to roll left. He jukes out, and he tried to lob it for Barker, and it was just a little bit out of his reach. And unfortunately, Seaman took
a hit at the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, he took a hit at the end of the play. It goes incomplete, and now with 1:08 till halftime, it's 2nd and 25. Probably should have thrown it out of bounds, to be quite honest.
He rolled out. He was out of the pocket there. He was able to throw it out of bounds if he wanted, but yeah. So Central's in the cover 2 right now. You have to run a route towards the safety that's that frees up Santiago to give him that one-on-one up the sideline, if anything.
Well, you got 2nd and 25. And now they're going to go inside handoff to Barker, crossing the 40. And, oh, my goodness, he bowels his way down to the 31. He gets 11 on the play. So you go from 2nd and 25 to 3rd and 14, which isn't bad considering the situation.
That's correct. It was a good call. I mean, they still got time on the clock, so – and he still has 2 times out if he wants to call one here to get the right play in. But let's see what he calls.
Well, they're going to take the slow version of up-tempo as we're coming down under 40 seconds till halftime. Seaman will take the snap on 3rd down. One of the linemen just fell in his posterior here. He's going to lob. He's going to have to scramble across the 30. Oh, he took a hard hit, and flags go down the very end of the play. And obviously some unhappy campers as well.
Go.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Berto Santiago wasn't too thrilled with it. But we're going to see what this penalty's all about. But that could have been late in out of bounds. If it is, probably going to be an unnecessary roughness foul.
I mean, he came flying up there. I'm not even sure if if he led with his head. We could take a look. I mean, there may be even a target.
We're gonna go 15. For that run.
Well, it's going to be a first down for Hillsborough based upon what we're hearing.
Give credit to the cameraman following the ball that well. Oh.
We don't
Oh.
have it. You guys don't have the right number, so I can't.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, we're gonna go 15. Yeah, we're gonna go have to do. Yeah, do that one.
It is going to be on Hunterdon Central for the unnecessary roughness and probably half the distance.
We got personal foul, late hit out of bounds, 76. Going to be first down.
So the late hit cost Hunterdon Central, and you go from 2nd and 25 to 3rd and 14, and all of a sudden you just got a new set of downs to 24 seconds till halftime.
I mean, you got 24 seconds. Once again, you still got 2 timeouts. Do you pass here or do you run? What do we call?
And he would have been a yard short of a first down, but the late hit half the distance. Now you're in the red zone again. First down to 14-yard line. Seaman going spread here. He takes the snap. Looking. Has a shot. Has it again. Welcome to the end zone. It's Andrew Swartz clearing the area.
Great job.
Oh, my goodness, it's raining points.
It is. Oh, boy, I tell you. I bet the Central defensive player now is kicking himself for giving the late hit and continue. Giving them the opportunity to continue with this drive going here.
I'll tell you what, Joey. The only people that might be a little bit upset with that is the band and the performers for halftime are like, can we get on the field, please?
Yeah, they want to be able to show this.
The players are like, we got some more scoring to do. Extra point is good to make it 41-14 with 20 seconds till halftime. And considering how this game began, Hillsborough has made a statement ever since.
We're going to look here. Schwartz is on the slot there, and safety's just sitting back. I think he's sitting too far back. And, backpedaling. At some point, you got to stop and start stepping up, and he just let him get into the end zone and didn't make an effort. Yeah, you can't do that,
I mean, that is, Seaman is making this look so easy right now.
He definitely is. He's definitely making it seem easy. But once again, the defender just continuing to drop back into the end zone. At some point, you got to realize, hey, where you are in the field of play and move up and make a play there. I mean, bad defense.
Think about this. Hillsborough's had 6 touchdowns. Seaman's thrown for 3. Jankowitz has ran for 2, and Seaman's ran for 1. So, I mean, and even though Jankowitz caught a touchdown pass as well, I mean, it's just amazing what Hillsborough's responded since the way the game started.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the visiting sideline is basically putting the clouds on a Cubert at this point. So, let's see how the kickoff goes in the final 20 seconds. High and end over end and taking about the 10-yard line. See what he does. Oh, he gets about the 20 and about the 28-yard line. So we're down to 15 seconds, still halftime. And remember, Hunterdon Central will get the ball to start the second half. But I'll tell you what, this has been one of the most impressive halves I have seen of Hillsborough football in a while, especially from an offensive standpoint.
Yeah, this has been a great offensive showing here, especially after the beginning of the game, the way it started with the controversy, no touch, and then fumble recovery for Central, and then coming for them to just come out the box and score right away. Hillsborough to answer with 41 points after that. Oh, boy, forget about it. Unbelievable.
Wow. Still a little bit more football to go, folks. 1st and 10 from the 28. Sella back to pass. Going to take a shot down the field. Deep in the double coverage. And incomplete. A little bit too far. And it looked like that went the direction Nick Vasquez. There is a flag down meanwhile.
Oh.
Now we'll see where this is all about.
I got it.
They got the foul at about the 43 of Hillsborough. So let's see what this is about.
Yeah.
Referee Mark Moran about to make a call.
Roughing the passer.
Oh, they're going
roughing
to
the
call
passer.
potentially roughing the
They
passer,
got
it
roughing the
sounds
passer
like.
here. So he got DPI,
Oh,
two
two
live ball
flags.
Oh, it
penalties.
could be 2 flags against Hillsborough. They'll choose
Roughing the passer.
one. Either way, it's
They
going to be
got- so-
15 yards.
No, they got
Yeah. For a
yeah,
second,
both
the
15 yards.
lights went out in the press box. No,
So
funny
you
what the
got
hubbub
roughing
is,
the
but
passer on that
officials
first.
still
Yeah, it's on that
discussing.
first.
Looks like we're going to have a foul in Hillsborough, but we'll get the
We have two
explanation.
penalties on the play. We have pass interference here. That penalty is going to be declined. We have personal foul, roughing the passer. Here, number 57. It's going to be 15 yards, first down. 57!
Okay, so either way, it was a 15-yard penalty. So, I mean, understand, hey, not too many networks have ref microphones, and you can hear the official, Mark Moran, rather clearly on the calls. But anyway, 8 seconds till halftime. See what happens as Solo takes the snap. He might go deep again. He'll duck, try and moves around. He got
Oh,
tripped up at
great
the
job.
40-yard line, and the clock will run out for the first half. And Kevin
third.
Carney's the first one on the field, leading this team to the locker room with a 41-14 halftime lead. I don't. I don't think he's happy about something. But anyway, Joey, what do you got for the first half?
I thought it was a great first half. I mean, Hillsborough came out with a vengeance on that play. You know, he really didn't take to that first call, against him, and he really brought out Hillsborough, fired up the offense, and just led them down on a great first half. 41 points. Central, no answer for them offensively.
You got that right. Well, your halftime score, the Hillsborough Raiders 41, the Hunterdon Central Red Devils 14. So we're going to come back in a couple minutes with the Pride of Hillsborough Raider marching band and their farewell performance for the regular season. Come back in a few minutes for that.
Know that each of us is a work of art in constant progress. You are your own canvas, your own combination of colors, your own brush, and your own inspiration. So let's explore your color palette.
Green personalities are generally compassionate and harmonious. You value relationships, are naturally empathetic, and often place others first. So color your life with optimism and joy so that each day will bring something special.
Does it sound bad? There is no chip. Still, Skip says now I'm supposed to film it. Skip says that there's a game at 6:30. But here they're saying there isn't a game all evening. It's been back and forth. I hope so. I hope so. This football sheet that's in. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She has Alan to go. I was going to say Alan down to go.
You tend to enjoy living life in the fast lane and generally quick to make decisions. So be bold and splash your life story with them.
Sprint. Can't go with that. Now I need a water. You're gonna get Thank you. I gave it to him initially, but I need it now. We're lucky right now. The 6 on Tuesday. It's right.
If you resonate with the colour blue, you are likely reflective and appreciate the beauty of nature. Try to observe and understand the world around you. So paint your world with harmonious shades of blue.
Yellow personalities are typically very optimistic, creative, and inspire others. You radiate warmth and positivity with an energy that tends to draw people towards you. So be uniquely you, stand out, and shine.
And just dancing.
Never forget for an instant how many colors your wife is forever adding to the lives of those around you. Add as many colors to your painting and make it beautiful. Together, we can brighten the whole line. And never forget that you are the piece that makes the difference.
Back to David A. Noonan Field here in Hillsborough High School in Hillsborough, New Jersey, as we're going to be starting the second half in a couple of minutes. And I think points are overflowing after what we see in the first half. Hillsborough 41, Hunterdon Central 14. And considering how the game started, Hillsborough has been dominant, literally, for 23 of the 24 minutes of this game. Anyway, I'm Tom Wilkins with Joey Pagan. Howard Gaber taking care of the controls. And here comes Hillsborough out to start the second half. And Joey, I never really got a sense as to how that first half went. What do you think's been the difference?
I don't know. I mean, Hillsborough's defense has come out, and they decided that they were going to set the tone after getting scored on really quickly. They settled down and they managed to get themselves together and make a statement, defensively wise. But the offense has just been electrifying this evening here. With just scoring on every possession in the first half.
It's amazing, Joey. 6 for 6 on touchdowns on their drives in the first half. The only blemish was a missed extra point, the very first touchdown they scored. If you want to recap, Ryan Siemens threw 3 touchdown passes, 1 to Jackson Jankowicz, 1 to Berto Santiago, and I believe 1 to Andrew Schwartz.
Yes, and then he's run one in for himself.
That's correct, and Jankowicz ran the other 2.
That's correct. So,
but on the other side of the ball, let's also give credit to Hunterdon Central's Andrew Cella, the quarterback. He started everything with a 35-yard touchdown run to start things on the opening drive after a controversial recovery of an onside kick to begin the game. Hunterdon Central took that emotional roller coaster and got points out of it. But then when Hillsborough scored 2 plays later, that kind of nullified that in a hurry.
I mean, Hillsborough answered really quickly to that after what happened there. I mean, we saw the replay, and we clearly saw that they touched the ball first. But, once again, Hillsborough just came back, really on fire after that and scored right away immediately. So.
By the way, just one quick note. I ended the first half by previewing, of course, the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band. And once again, another tremendous performance by everybody, the kids, the directors, everyone there did a heck of a job for halftime. Let me just remind everybody, in case we do have a home game next week, they'll be performing again. So it was their last regular season performance, but they may be performing again come next Friday, depending on how other results fall here in the NJSIAA. I'm just getting word from Howard that North Brunswick has defeated Franklin 22-20 in the final regular season game there this evening out in Franklin. I guess North Brunswick may have come back late to win that one. So. But whatever it is, we're just going to wait for other progress scores and give you updates when possible. We're just very happy to have you here on HSG Network. Make sure you subscribe to HSG Network on YouTube. We got plenty more of other events coming. We have a few more youth league things coming up over the weekends ahead. And we also may have another football game here in Hillsborough. So make sure you subscribe. And if that happens, it'll be next Friday. So make sure you subscribe. HSG Network on YouTube. Keep those numbers poor. We've got over 3,100 subscribers. So let's keep the momentum, as they say. So remember, Hillsborough will kick the ball off. They wanted to toss and receive, but Hunterdon Central stole the possession by recovering the onside kick to begin the game. So I do not suspect Hillsborough trying to do a one-upsmanship and try to do the same thing to them to start the second half.
I don't see it coming either. And besides, their coverage team has been really good this evening. So I think you just kick the ball away and play defense here.
Yeah, I think that's really the key right now as the referee blows his whistle, and we are set to go for the second half, and that's exactly what Hillsborough is doing. A one-hopper to about the 15-yard line, be taken to about the 25, the 30, slipping through a couple more tackles, and down to the 32-yard line is Tyler Farley. The senior was able to get to about the 33 for a nice 18-yard return, and that is how Hunterdon Central will begin the second half. And we'll see if Hunterdon Central makes some adjustments, not just to the play calling, but also the Hillsborough defense, which I think is going to be pretty important when you consider how Hillsborough was able to dominate them after the opening drive.
Well, we have to see what Central comes up with here, what they call on this first possession. I mean, they've got to be looking to score something, really quick also, and same time, they have to come out playing some really good defense.
Cella will hand it off, and oh my goodness. Please meet Garrett Meyer and lose about a yard. Did he lose the ball too? He took it after the play was over, so ends up being 2nd and 10. No gain on the play, but I'll tell you what, that was a stone wall right there.
Yeah,
If
it
I've seen
definitely
one.
was. From his linebacker position, he just read that and came right away, flew up the gap, and made a play.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the 33-yard line. And right now, Hunterdon Central trying to get the call from the coaching staffer, which we'll mention actually in just a few moments. Taking their time and trying to get the right play out. It's going to be 3 wide slot left. As Sella will take the snap. Here comes a blitz. And Sella is going to be swarmed under for no gain. In on the play, Anthony Guerrero, the junior, may have lost a yard possibly. It'll be 3rd and 11.
That was a great blitz by Hillsboro, dialing up some pressure now, something that we didn't see too much in the first half. I mean, they had a few blitzes, but good pressure on that point, on that play right there.
So it'll be 3rd. They're going to say no gain, so 3rd and 10. Again, the 33-yard line. Opening drive of the second half. And again, going 3 wide, slot to the left. And Sella will take the shotgun snap. Play fake, goes back, looks. Going to take a shot down the field. A little bit too far, incomplete. Looked like that was intended for James Magnum, who's been a very important part of this offense today for Hunterdon Central, but just a little bit too far thrown, and Hunterdon Central punt.
That matchup has been going on all night tonight. They've been battling those two guys all night. Number 5 from Hillsborough has been winning that matchup as it is right now.
Jaden Carter's had a very nice game, to say the least. Couple of punch outs on potential completed passes. You got to give him that credit. Berto Santiago standing at the 34-yard line, waiting to return for Hillsborough. And once again, it'll be Gio Valise. He got shaken up earlier in the day, but he will punt. A high snap again. They do come, but he gets it off. And we'll see if Berto wants to take it. Now, not even going to be close to him. In fact, it takes a Hillsborough bounce and then neutralizes and drops at the 48-yard line. So that's where Hillsborough will start, 1st and 10. Keep in mind, if they score a touchdown here, then we go into running clock rules.
Right. I get that. It was a good punt. I mean, they were coming after that punt, that play. He was only one guy back there. That was it. They were just trying to get that block right there just now.
But they're going to spot just shy of 47. And Hillsborough, in case you missed the first half, each time they had the ball, they scored a touchdown. Now what can they do for an encore for the second half?
Score another touchdown.
Well, that one, we'll see. But they got Seaman making sure everyone's in, and they just brought in Barker as another receiver as they triple the left on 1st and 10. From the 47, they'll give the Jankowitz, turns the corner, crosses midfield, still going to the 40 and then pushed out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it. That'll be a first down for sure.
Good run by Jankowicz there. His vision is really good. I like when he runs the ball. He sees the field really well.
16-yard gain and a first down.
First down.
And Jankowicz just continues to impress. I mean, his last regular season game for Hillsborough High School, and like I say, he might get one more for the playoffs, but we'll see. As Seaman will line up the troops here in between split backs. 1st and 10 from about the 36-yard line. Now they're going to hand it off. Going across. There's Schwartz to the 20, to the 10, to the condo. Clear the area. Welcome to the end zone.
He got a flag.
And he's got a flag for probably excessive celebration, but not sure if there was a taunt at the end of that, but Hillsborough extends their lead, and I'll tell you what, 7 for 7. Absolutely unbelievable what Hillsborough has done.
Unbelievable what they've done. Since the very beginning of the way the game started with the kickoff, to come back and be on fire the way they did. They sure answered that call there. It looks like they took that call very personal.
I think the way the game began has been on their minds, and now it's pretty much established. So what will happen is they will kick the extra point. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct foul after the play. So we'll try the extra point. And the penalty, by the way, will be ensued on the kickoff. So they'll kick the extra point. Here it is, the snap. They're all coming. Kick on its way. Still doesn't matter who went through. It's 48-14 as Hillsborough is now up by 34. And we're going to go ahead and take a little breather and come back with a kickoff after this.
When you want reliable work, trust family-owned A&B Landscaping to make your property look its best. With over 25 years of experience, our design team will help create an oasis in your backyard with landscaping, hardscaping, retaining walls, and more. Our commercial customers rely on us for landscaping and maintenance too. So no matter what type of property, we can handle it. We're the company you can trust, so give us a call today.
Okay, we are back here in Hillsborough as the Raiders extend their lead to 48-14. By the way, that is by far the most points Hillsborough has scored in a game this year. I believe their high, if I recall, was 35 when they shut out Sayreville back on September 20th. Now, they scored 32 2 weeks ago in Bridgewater Raritan. So, as I said, one of the most impressive performances we have seen at Hillsborough in a long time.
Yeah, right now they are on fire. I mean, every possession you get a touchdown. That's a great way to start this game. And if going into the playoffs right now, you're firing on all cylinders. This is great momentum. If they can carry this into the playoffs, it'll be great.
And think about this. Last year, they really struggled to score offensively. And here this year, they have really made up for lost time and have really done a good job as the kickoff is taken to about the 37-yard line. Now, keep in mind with the score the way it is, we are now in running clock territory. I believe it is a 32-plus point lead where the clock runs in the second half. It's 33, actually, so they're just above that. So Hunterdon Central will try it again. 1st and 10. They're going to spot at the 37-yard line. Now, if you're Hunterdon Central, I mean, what's your coaching staff telling the players right now?
They're just trying to keep that morale up, and letting them know, hey, one play at a time, one run, one pass. We'll get back on the board. Let's score quickly if we can, and keep that momentum, and then get a couple of stops defensively. Something they haven't been able to do. Get a stop. We haven't been able to get one yet.
1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. As Sella back in the shotgun. They'll take it and they give a handoff. No, he keeps it. He keeps it. He's going to run it to midfield. Look at this. 40 down to the 35-yard line. That's an impressive run by the quarterback, Andrew Sella. Gain of 28. And that's a first down to the 35 of Hillsborough.
Great run by the quarterback. They're calling his own number. Hillsborough looked like they got caught on the outside. There was no outside contain there. I mean, it was a pretty decent ball fake, but I don't think it was much to where the defensive end. I think he just did the fake and left the outside open.
So 1st and 10 for the 35-yard line. They'll put a slot to the right as they hand it off up the middle. And a nice run to about the 30, slipping out of a tackle down to the 29-yard line. So this team's not giving up. Giovanni's ends up getting about 7 on the play.
No, I mean, this is what Central needs right now. They keep the ball moving, keep the chains going. You want to try to score a little quickly if possible, like I said. And when you get back out on defense, get that one crucial stop. Start there and then continue on.
All right, so it'll be second and it looks like a long 3. Ball will be spot right outside the 28-yard line. Sell on the shotgun, 3 wide slot left. He'll take the snap. Waits, has some time. He'll throw up the middle. Pass is going to be caught, but short first down. And that was a slant that was stopped by Zion Grant, who led the charge here for maybe a yard. And now, so it'll be 3rd and 2 from the 27-yard line. I mean, Hunterdon Central at least responding with at least a nice with a nice drive here, but needless to say, it's definitely 4-down territory at this junction.
It definitely is. I mean, it was a good pass. He got a couple of yards out of it, but let's see, makes it a more manageable 3rd down from them. But
Here's a handoff, and that's going to be good enough for a 1st down to about the 22, so a 5-yard pickup. And Valise was able to get that 5 yards. So at least Hunterdon Central's they're still playing, and that's what a coaching staff will be pleased about.
That's exactly what you want to see out of this team now. You want to see them, not giving up. You want to see them to continue to have that fight in them, no matter what the score is.
Now they go spread and empty gun now as Jello was going to fire one, and evidently there was a little bit of miscommunication on the route. Looked like it was intended for Devin Marrero, but it ends up going incomplete.
Right. I mean, he was wide open.
And unfortunately, Zello was shaken up a little bit on that last play.
2nd down, Red Devils.
Hillsboro's defense has been coming. They've been bringing.
I tell you, Zella's had a pretty good game, but I'll tell you what, that Hillsboro defense, once they start firing, they have been all over the place.
They've been all over the place. They've been flying around to the ball just exactly the way you want. I mean, a couple of miscues, like on that last big run that he had where the defensive end, went for the fake. I mean, at this point, defense just got to continue to play smart. You don't want to give up any points. You don't want to give them any kind of momentum here.
Here's a pitch out, and I went to Velez, but what defense that time for Hillsboro. The lead's buried in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss. So that'll make it 3rd and long, and we'll see if Hunterdon Central has another pass play in the tank.
We'll have to see. I mean, 3rd and long, double sticks here almost. You gotta assume that it's going to be a pass play. I mean, they've been working the middle of the field with these slants, so you may wind up seeing another slant come again.
Well, if you think about it, Joey, we had a couple of slants early on in the game, and then Hillsboro closed that down for the most part.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
and not only that, for Hunterdon Central, their main bread and butter's been the quarterback keep. Yep. I mean, that's what led to the first points of the game.
That is true. So, I mean, we'll see what he calls here.
All right, here is Sella back on 3rd down. He's going to lob a little middle screen, but it only takes him down to about the 21-yard line. I believe that was Alex Kagan, the senior, was able to make the grab there.
Right.
He's going to be short of a 1st down. It'll be probably going to be like a 4th and 10 coming up.
I mean, it was a good play. It was a short drag across the middle of the field, but I mean, he should have went a little deeper on that. Maybe he could have gotten behind the linebackers, but I mean, you take what you get. It's 4th down and 10 now. I can't, got to come up with another big pass here. You got to watch where you are as a receiver. You got to make sure you go past the sticks.
3-wide slot right here on, it looks like 4th and 10. Sella is back under a rush. He's going to lob it. Almost coming down with it. That was a nice try, though, but it ends up going incomplete. Intended for James Magna, who leapt for the ball, but just couldn't come down with it. Hey, you got to remember, these are kids trying their best here, and sometimes you just don't quite get the handle of it, and it just doesn't work.
I mean, he was a good effort on it. He was open. He should have been caught for 6 points there, but he wasn't able to bring that in. So
right now, Hillsboro, after as impressive their offense has been, it looks like a lot of substitutions here now, as Devin looks like Karana, the junior, is going to be given a quarterback shot here.
All right.
So we're going to see what Devin does here on 1st and 10. Ball's at the 21-yard line. He's in the shotgun. I'll go spread. Boy, what a special senior night this has been, as here's a handoff going up the middle to about the 23, maybe a 2-yard gain.
Number 30.
And once again, it's Barker with the carry, so it'll be 2nd and 8. So some Hillsboro players get an opportunity here to show up and get an opportunity to audition for next year.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, this is what you want to get. This is the time you want to give them the opportunity to get some time in and shine. Normally they get their opportunities, but in a game like this, you're live streaming on YouTube here on HSG Network. They get to see, the family gets to see them out there also, and they get to see the game when they get home.
They will hand it off around the right side. Here's a run about the 30 and all the way down about the 37-yard line, but he lost the football. And it looks like it'll be recovered by Hunterdon Central. It was a nice run by Chad Francis, but he just could not hang on to the ball. And a very nice recovery by Joseph Will Carivas. And it'll be the first turnover of the game, if you were to believe that.
Wow.
So it'll be Hunterdon Central football at the Hillsboro 37-yard line. Let's give a little rundown of Hunterdon Central staff led by head coach Casey Ranson, who's also the defensive coordinator. Also Mike Bergolito, the special teams coordinator, also for running backs and defensive backs. Offensive coordinator and quarterback coach Canal Joyce. Defensive line coach Mark Roboleski. Wide receiver coach Rob Martucci. For tight ends and defensive line Tyler Rabel. Defensive backs and wide receivers, Ethan Aquino. Offensive line linebackers, Jim Meert. Freshman coaches led by head coach Joe Capasso, along with Logan Brodsky, Marty Dowling, and Matt Joyce. Paul Colodi is strength and conditioning. And here is a handoff. Wow. And speaking of strength and conditioning on the Hillsboro side, that is an exclamation point by Garrett Meyer. And I forgot to mention, Alex Wasserman is the director of football operations.
Great play by Myers. He read that all the way. It was one of those little toss again to that back, a little misdirection there, and then a quick toss that but the linebacker wasn't full at all.
Okay, so from the 42 after no gain, it is second down. They'll go into spread. Ball spot at 37, rather. Now, Hunterdon's starters are still in right now. Keep in mind, a lot of them are seniors here as well. Let's see what happens as here's a handoff. No, it's a keeper, actually, down to about the 40-yard line. The junior Andrew Sella keeps it and gets about 2. And nice tackle on the part of Zion Grant.
Yeah, Grant came up with a good stop there. Almost caused a fumble on that play, too. Was lucky that the quarterback was able to hold on to the ball there.
Well, ball security is very important no matter what happens. Now, the Red Devils are going to let the clock run down, and we are going to hit three-quarter time here in Hillsboro. So after 3, it's a Hillsboro runaway train. The Raiders 48, the Red Devils 14. Let's grab a break. We'll come back with the final quarter right after this. Okay, we're back here as we take a look at the Hillsboro cheerleaders who have done a wonderful job all year long. You can see them with the dance team over there, the cheerleaders you can see on the far right. Many of them with pink in the uniform, obviously part of Breast Cancer Awareness Night here at Hillsboro High Schools. And a wonderful crowd on hand, and going to be a happy crowd going home for the most part, with Hillsboro up 48-14 starting the final quarter. Now, we're not sure about other key factors or how things are going to line up, so we'll tell you this much. Should we have a game at home next week, we will have it here on HSG Network, and like I said, all right, well, here is going to be a keeper for Sella. He will cross the 30 and dive to the 20. Yeah, I'm being told we will have a home game now next Friday night, and it's scheduled for 7 o'clock, I would guess. And, of course, you'll catch it here on HSG Network on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe. And we're going to throw you a little bit something different here at the end of the game, post-game interviews with a couple players. So not going to tell you who they are yet, but make sure you stay tuned for that at the end of the game. Here's Sella, who will take this 4th down and a yard to handles a first down some more as Valise will take it over to about the 20 now. Late flag goes down at the very end.
Good run there by Valise at the end there, but had a flag, a little extra curricular activity going on there.
Well, I'll put it to you this way, Joey, from a 180 of emotion from the beginning of the game to this point now for Hunterdon Central.
Yep.
And you got to remember, you got to keep your emotions in check no matter what. So The official will make the decide. It's it's going to be against Hunterdon Central and the defense, I think. We'll see.
Nope.
Oh, actually, no, it's actually going to be on Hunterdon. It happened after the play was over, so it will be a first down for Hunterdon Central. And they're just going to reset the sticks at about the 35-yard line.
Okay, all right, so, you get a first down, then you have a penalty, and it gives you a first down anyway, but you get the ball moved back on you for 10 yards, 15 yards for the personal foul.
All right, so 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line now. They triple the left side as Sella is back to pass. He's looking. Going to take a shot down the field.
Oh,
and it's intercepted. Boy, I don't know where he was throwing it to. Now a flag is down to return, taken all the way down to the 33-yard line. That was a great interception by Damian Amato. Now, there was a flag down, but it was after the interception, so I believe the interception going to count probably because there's a block in the back happened during the return. So it will be Hillsborough ball, but I'll tell you, for that young man, that was a great play.
Great play. He was a smart kid there. He just sat back. He was determined he was going to be the last guy on the field. You almost knew that they were going to have to play, have come up with one big play downfield. So coach must have told him, just sit back there. Don't come up. Don't look at anything else. Just be the last man on the field. He was able to get the ball and come back and get the interception for Hillsborough.
So it will be Hillsborough ball, but they will start very deep in their own territory. It is the block in the back, but it happened after the interception, so it will be Hillsborough ball. And going to be all the way back. They're going to say probably the 6-yard line. So I think Hillsborough can drive 94 yards in the 10.5+ minutes.
Oh, I believe they have it in them. I mean,
Well, keep in mind, of course, Hillsborough making a lot of substitutions. So, again, the quarterback, Devon Carana, the junior, taking a shot here. And here's a handoff. He'll cross the 10, still going. And that's Barker, who's able to get about 10 to the 16-yard line. That might move the chains there.
Almost close to it if it's not a first down.
Yep, they do move the chains, so another first down.
He's been big this whole game. He's been doing his job this evening here with running the ball well for Hillsborough this evening. He's been the workhorse here.
So I've just been told it's Devon Carana is his name. So all right, so 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line as Carana will stand the shotgun. Gonna see I'd say a bunch of runs here. Might alternate some running backs here within this last play. 3 wide slot left. Oh, a bobbled snap, but Carana catches it, and he's going to make something positive out of it, get to about the 22-yard line. So he bobbles the snap, but has the wherewithal to go forward and gain about 5.
That was good. A good thing here. Good hands there, holding the ball, not allowing to get away from him and causing another turnover here. But, good job, good concentration, bringing the ball in and managing to get positive yards out of that.
Got 6, so it's 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4 for the Raiders.
And now we'll see what Carana does. Again, lining up 3 wide slot left. And I think what they're doing is they're waiting for the 10-second signal from the official. That's why they're running the clock. And official just signaled it. And they give the snap, and Barker will try it again. Slips out 1 tackle, but, he's still dragging defenders, and he's able to get a strong 2 yards to about the 25. It'll force a 3rd and 2.
Right. So, he, like I said, he's been the workhorse all evening here for them, with a couple of big carries and, a lot of short yardage stuff, getting first downs. He's got a couple of first downs himself. So, credit to him this evening on getting the ball and doing positive things with it this evening.
All right. So 3rd and 2 from the 25. Looks like they're going to go with a I formation here. You don't see too many of those now. A handoff up the middle to Barker. They go with the up man, and he didn't go too far up. They got 33. This is a new running back. That is a Dash Workman. And he works it over to about the 27, but he might be just a hair short of a first down. They may call. No, they did give him the first down. How about that?
Look at that. his first carry, he gets a first
There
down.
you go. Dash Workman goes to work and moves the sticks.
Great job by Hillsborough. That's exactly what they need right now. They're obviously taking control of the game, working the clock, waiting for the 10 seconds, call to become, and then calling the play so that this way they can utilize the clock and waste as much time as possible there.
All right, well, they're going to go ahead and go again. Slot left on 3 receivers. 1st and 10 from the 27. This Carano will wait for the 10-second signal, and then we'll make the snap. More than likely, it'll probably be a run. And there it is to Barker. Barker will shove his way to about the 29-yard line. And Barker, remember, is a senior as well, so he's putting some time in and ends up getting about 3 to the 30-yard line.
Oh, I didn't know he was a senior. Great job by him this evening. Then he's getting a lot of the work, like I said. For him to come in this game and get the majority of the carries this evening, and still being productive, it's a great job on his part.
All right, so 2nd and 7 from the 30 as Hillsborough's winding the clock to under 7 minutes till time. Remember, it's a running clock. With the score the way it is, Rana will wait for the snap, going in I formation. And there's Barker with the pitch. And a good job by Hunterdon's defense that time. Hold him for a 1-yard loss. So obviously these guys, they don't have any quitting them. They're still doing their best.
Central is still fighting. They're not giving up. They're doing what they can. They're trying to, get the ball back, create a turnover here if possible so they can get the ball back and, finish on a high note here.
So it'll be 3rd and 7 from the 30, so no gain on the play. And the clock will keep running down about midway point of the final quarter. So with the way things are going, I'll tell you what, Hillsborough, whom halfway through the year had a lot of questions. I mean, they have really answered a ton of questions these last 4 weeks, winning the last 4 of the regular season, if you count this one. Back to passes Carana, and it ends up being intercepted. Nice interception by Troy Ortega, who will go down to about the 39-yard line. And you got to give it a try. You're up by 33. Might as well practice something.
I mean, I guess that's, you give the kid an opportunity and you want to see what he can do. So you may call a pass or two for him. And unfortunately for Hillsborough, it was intercepted here. But once again, now they come back out, they can play some defense.
Chase Sherrod was the intended receiver, but once again, nice play by Troy Ortega, who made the interception there. So ever since the substitutions have come in, that's when we went from a point fest to a turnover fest.
Right. So let's see, let's see, for defense sake, maybe they want to keep them off the board and play strong defense here and not allow anything.
Belize will have a carry to about the 37, but Hillsborough's defense continues to swarm for maybe about another 2 yards on the play.
Oh, there's a flag on the play.
And now, evidently, a late flag came down. So let's see what this is about. A major face mask against Hillsborough, so it's a 15-yard penalty.
Wow.
So that'll make it 1st down for Hunterdon Central.
I mean, you don't want to see these kind of penalties here towards the end of the game. You want to keep it clean. You don't want any mistakes. You just you want to be able to continue to play some good football here and get out of here with the victory with no issues. And it also stops the clock, but it's back running again. So
right, just a temporary stop, and now of course it's still a running clock. So with that said, it is 1st and 10 after the personal foul for the face mask. Ball spot the 22-yard line. And again, Belize will try and turn the corner. He'll cross the 20. And, there's that Hillsborough defense saying no more of that. And you got to remember, you see a lot of these penalties, especially when you got a lot of substitutions that happen, and they don't necessarily have to know the right technique or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't have all your starters in on defense. You don't have all your starters in on offense for Hillsborough. So, you see a couple of things here and there that, technique-wise or just something that, because the guys, at this point of the game, getting the opportunity to do what they do here. So.
All right, so it'll be 2nd and 10. And just a minute, folks, I'm going to give you a programming now. We're going to be doing post-game interviews after the game is over. Is here's a pass
Then
nicely
another.
caught inside the 15 to the 12. So in just a moment, I'm going to leave it to Joey and Howard, who'll take you the rest of the way, and then I'll be taking two players from Hillsboro's side and interviewing them. Who should I do?
just I mean we can all tell from here. We know we got Jankovic. So
All right, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line, coming down 3:15. Here's a handoff up the middle, crossing the 10 to the 5, and he's going to be in the end zone. How about that? A nice job by Gio Valise, who has a 13-yard touchdown run, and that will stop the clock with 3:03 left. And, hey, if anything for Hunterdon Central, at least that's a positive to end today with.
I mean, this is what you want to see, right? That they're not giving up. They're continuing to fight. That's what you want from your team. You want to see them continuing to do this because they're a very good team. Also, they just didn't have much on their side this evening other than that onside kick.
Hey, listen, they've had. Hey, listen, they were 4-4 for a reason. They've had some nice games. Obviously, like us, Phillipsburg was obviously a pain in the side. Here's the extra point on its way. He gets it. It's good to make it 48-21. Just real quick before I go down, Hillsboro's group led by head coach Kevin Carty Jr., assisted by Don Adams, Wayne Briggs, Kevin Carty Sr., Vince Coviello, Patrick Denapoli, PJ Jankowicz, Rocco Mazzagatti, and Tim O'Sullivan. Superintendent is Mike Volke, and along with the principal, Jeff DeLullo. The athletic director is Mike Davis. Athletic trainers are Michael Schiffman and Amanda Miller. Down the cheerleading side, they are led by Samantha Shurick and Amanda Ribello. The team doctor is James Monica. And, of course, we mentioned the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band, led by band directors Jules Horan and Nick Clipperton. And also a major thanks to Bruce Wayne, part of the Hillsborough fifth quarter touchdown club, for making – I'm sorry – the Hillsborough Touchdown Club. I'm so used to saying fifth quarter for years. And, I mean, hey, we might do a fifth quarter post game with our two players here. So after the kickoff, I'm going to let Joey and Howard take you down before we get set up for the post game here. So anyway. Hunterdon Central will kick off. And by the way, good job for the Hunterdon Central crew. They didn't give up in this game. They played hard. But you know what? When you get hit by a Hillsborough tidal wave, this is what happens.
There was no coming back from what happened there.
Really was a tremendous day for Hillsborough. Here is the kickoff taken down to about the 30-yard line, and it looked like Damian Amato was the one carried it to the 30-yard line. So, with that said, Joey and Howard take off, and I will get my people for the post game, and we'll see you in a few.
1st and 10 Raiders from the 30-yard line.
All right, so now hopefully we got Hillsborough coming out on offense. We know that they're going to take their time on this possession. Obviously the clock is running. We're under 2 minutes and 30 seconds here to go in the fourth quarter, and the score is 48-21 Hillsborough. Almost certain that they're going to wait for the 10-second clock. I don't think we're going to see another pass this evening. I think we're just going to get a bunch of runs here to end this game, and then we'll get Tom down there with the interviews. Barker on the carry there, another good carry. Way to cut up here. Oh, breaks it to the outside. Past the 50, down to the 40. He's at the 30, down to the 20. Wow, great run. This young man has been doing work this evening. He has been, Hillsborough's workhorse this evening. As a senior himself, it would be great to get him across the goal line there, to get him a touchdown this evening, to, end his regular season career with a touchdown. And then, start the playoffs would be great on his part. But let's see what they come up with. We're here again. I'm almost certain they're going to call another running play. We got a bunch formation here, too, like double wings, it looks like. All right. Unless we're just going to take, I think we're going to get a victory formation here, and that's it. I don't think we're going to run the ball again. Great job by Hillsborough. Oh, boy. Let's see. Was there a penalty on that? Yeah, it looks like Hillsborough jumped off sides there. nevertheless, once again, great job by Hillsborough. Central, started the game off really strong, but wasn't able to play any defense against Hillsborough this evening. Hillsborough had all the answers offensively this evening for the game, and we're just a couple of knees here, victory formation, and just to remind you all, next week, Hillsborough here, playoffs, HSG Network. We're waiting for Howard. For Tom to get down there and get these post-game interviews with the two players. So congratulations to Hillsborough Central. Great game. Once again, thank you from HSG Network. Have a good evening. And hold off and we'll show you the post-game interviews here down at the 50.
All right. We are back here at David Noonan Field in Hillsborough as the Hillsborough Raiders defeated Hunterdon Central Red Devils by a count of 48-14. And I'll tell you what, two of the people who have made this comeback season happen, to my right or to your left if you're watching, Jackson Jankowicz, and to your right, quarterback Ryan Seaman. Let's start with Jackson. 3 more touchdowns today. What has turned the season around for you?
I feel like it's just me and the offensive line have such a great connection at this point, and my boy over here. We just every game we play, our goal is just to run through our opponent and just make them not want to play at the end of the game.
And the first passing play, Ryan, 47 yards to Jackson. What'd you see on that play?
As soon as I motioned him out there, I saw his one-on-one coverage, him and a linebacker. I knew he would burn him, so I had to give him a shot, too.
Well, you threw for 3 touchdown passes. Jackson ended up scoring 3 himself. You came onto the scene like a house of fire 2 years ago, especially those kickoff returns here on this field. What has changed for you since you got going with your special teams play?
I feel like I still love special teams. Every time I get a chance to be on the special teams, I always try to make plays. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the game, and it's what got me to this point, so I'm always grateful for it.
And Ryan, explain to me how you've improved, especially in the second half this year. Now you won 4 in a row, and it looks like you'll be playing again next week.
I think it's getting a better connection with my guys, my receivers, and also offensive line, getting on the same page with them, and just throughout the season it's developed.
And considering how everything's happened, especially in the last few weeks, What do you see going forward, Jackson? How do you see this team shaping up playoff-wise?
I think we're just going to shock everybody and we're going to take it all the way to the state championship.
Well, I don't know. Hey, were you two there 3 years ago when Hillsboro was a state champion?
Yeah, we were freshmen.
Sounds like a song of the same name.
Yeah.
So what's it going to, as we wrap it up, what's it going to take to get to that point again?
The energy needs to be up. It was great today, and I think it's got to be like that for the rest of the season. No matter who we play, we should bring our A game.
Jackson, quick.
We're just going to keep the energy going in practice, and we're going to mess up every team in front of us.
We'll see what happens, Jackson. And Ryan, congratulations, and thank you on a wonderful year. Best of luck in the playoffs. There you have it, my friends. Jackson Jankowitz and Ryan Seaman, the stars of our game, as Hillsboro defeats Hunterdon Central by a score of 48-14. For Joey Pagan, Howard Gaber, I'm Tom Wilkins. Thanks for watching, and see you next Friday here from Hillsboro. Have yourself a good night, everybody.